All right, then I guess we will turn it over to Call of the West with Jeannie and Jerome. Okay, let's go, Kurt.
What would I do without your kisses? What would I do without your smile? Without that tenderness of your sweet caress, oh, life just wouldn't be worthwhile. You are the one I can rely on. You're the one that I could tell my troubles to. No, you're not just my girl, you're my life and my world. Oh, what would I do without you? Do without that feeling I get when you are by my side. And when I'm feeling blue, well, I just think of you and the love light shining in your eyes. You are the one I can rely on. You're the one that I can tell my troubles to if I had any. No, you're not just my girl, you're my life and my world. What would I do without you, honey baby? What would I do without you?
Oh, thank you. Well, even though I didn't wear my boots today, I had worn them all last weekend at the Old Tucson Western Music Festival. You know, it's hardly a Western festival unless you have to walk along a lot of hard gravel, holding your instruments in heavy Western clothes. You know what I mean. So I'm giving my feet a break. Before the break of dawn, I'm putting my boots on. Smell of wood smoke and coffee in the air. Kinda slow getting round from sleeping on the ground. I'm glad nobody cares about my makeup and hair. I've never seen a sight as pretty as the light of the dawn breaking over the sage. While this cup warms my hand to think how I love the land, my home on the range. This is my home on the range. City rules don't apply. Sunsets of red, stars o'er your bed, coyotes and whippoorwills sing in the night. We are what we are. We follow our own star. We don't have to dress pretty to get by. There is a place in this world for us non-traditional girls out here on our home on the range. Yeah, now. Sunset turns to twilight with a crackling fire. We all tell our stories from the day. I lay my head in my saddle and gaze up in the night, staring with wonder at the Milky Way. There is no virtual net, it's as real as life can get. With your skills and some luck you will find. What's important in the end is a good horse, your saddle, and your friends are here on our home on the range. This is my home on the range. City rules don't apply. Sunsets of red, stars on your bed, coyotes and whippoorwills sing in the night. We are what we are, we follow our own star. We don't have to be pretty to get by. There is a place in this world for us non-traditional girls, and here on our home on the range. I don't mean Maytag, I love my home on the range.
We have the Caring for a Person with Alzheimer's Disease book. It is from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the National Institute on Aging. Guess what? Guess what? This book is free. It's about 100 pages because now we know that there are millions of Americans out there that are taking care of someone with some form of autism, some form of Alzheimer's. This is strictly an Alzheimer's disease book. And basically it says your easy to use guide from the National Institute on Aging. We're going to put up the address. We're doing commercials. We're very passionate about this cause because we want Alzheimer's patients taken care of.
Now this song might be true about some of the people that are in here, but it's partly true about my dad. My daddy was a cowboy, he rode those western plains. Mother was a wandering rose, the west wind knew her name. I rode on a raisin prairie, where the buffalo once roamed. The western sky, the coyotes cry, the saddle was my home. Whoopie-tie-yi-yo,
Whoopie-tie-yi-yo,
whoopie-tie-yi-ee. And when I was a young man, I was the best cowpoke around. I could ride and I could rope, I could wrestle steers to the ground. With my silver spurs a-jangling and my 6-gun by my side, I'd saddle my pony with my cowboy dreams, and the lonesome trails I would ride. Whoopie-tie-yi-yo,
whoopie-tie-yi-yo,
whoopie-tie-yi-ee. When it came to the ladies, well, I reckon I met my share. When I would ride into town, Lordy, how they would stare. The women just seem to love a cowboy, but they never can stake their claim. A cowboy's a lot like a young buck stallion, his heart is hard to tame. Whoopie-tie-yi-yo,
whoopie-tie-yi-yo,
whoopie-tie-yi-ee. I'm an old man and the trails I ride are paved. There are towns all over where the longhorn cow once grazed. Though my roundup days are over, my dreams they linger on. I'll turn my eye to the western sky, sing my cowboy song, whoopee-tie-yi-yo,
Whoopee-tie-yi-yo,
whoopee-tie-yi-yo.
Thank you all very much. Thank you. I'd like to recite a little poem now that was inspired by a true story that was told to me by Tex Schutz. Yes, it's based on a true story, but you know, if any poem or song, if you got a gram of truth in there, a grain of truth, well, it makes it even better. So here's how it goes. We've got a new neighbor. A city lady bought the farm place down the road, and she is a waver in all kinds of weather, hot or cold. One day she stopped and asked, "Could you watch my dog? Would you mind?" "Well, sure, we can do that for you. We've done it for others from time to time. Of course, we'll just let him run with ours, if that's all right." "Oh, yes, he's had all his shots and he's never tried to fight." Well, Perky slept and ate with our 3 dogs and 1 cat. He watched where the horses stood, and by himself he killed a big field rat. He did not try to help the dogs kill the big black snake that had swallowed the fresh eggs. And although he would accept a treat, he never whined or begged. She returned in about a week, and the reunion, it almost made me sick, because he ran and jumped into her arms and all over her face and mouth, lick, 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 lick. "Oh, Perky, it's so nice to see you, and it's so nice of you to give Mom some lovin'." And to this day, I don't think she would have done that if she had just watched him eat that fresh horse muffin. That's right. Based on a true story told to me by Tex Schutz.
Baby mine,
I get so lonely when I dream about you. Can't live without you.
that's
why I dream about you. If I could only put my arms around you, life would be so fair.
we're there.
You could hug and kiss and never tire. I'm on fire. You are my one desire. I get so lonely when I dream about you. Why can't you be there?
Oh baby, tossing and turning in my slumber. Oh baby,
Holding you it seems.
oh baby, I give you kisses without number, but only in my dreams. Baby mine,
I get so lonely when I dream about you. Can't live without you.
that's
why I dream about you.
if I could only put my
Arms around you, life would be so fair.
Oh baby, tossing and turning in my slumber. Oh baby, holding you it seems. Oh baby, I give you kisses without number, but only in my dreams.
I get so lonely when I dream about you. Can't live without you. That's why I dream about you. If I could only put my arms around you, life would be so fair.
Oh, baby,
Life would be so fair.
oh, baby,
Life would be so fair.
oh, baby,
We have the Caring for a Person with Alzheimer's Disease book. It is from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the National Institute on Aging. Guess what? Guess what? This book is free. It's about 100 pages because now we know that there are millions of Americans out there that are taking care of someone with some form of autism, some form of Alzheimer's. This is strictly an Alzheimer's disease book. And basically it says your easy to use guide from the National Institute on Aging. We're going to put up the address. We're doing commercials. We're very passionate about this cause because we want Alzheimer's patients taken care of.
And welcome back to Crossroads Live. My name is Jim Hoffmeyer, and I have two very special guests. It's the Call of the West, right? That's the name of the group?
Call of the West.
Call of the West. All right. First of all, ladies first. Ma'am, what is your first name?
Jeannie. Jeannie.
Jeannie. Yes. And your name, sir?
Jerome.
And so I take it y'all are a couple.
We are a couple. Yes, definitely we are a couple.
I know her. She's the boss.
That's right. We know how that works, don't we?
Yeah, yes, I do. I have one at home. I'll tell you what. The thing you just told me a while ago, you're from Massachusetts.
Yeah, born there and lived there for 12 years and in Southwick. And then my family moved to New Mexico when I was 12. So the other half of growing up was in Truth or Consequences, New Mexico.
So that's where you picked up on the Western music? And
I didn't pick up on Western music until a long time afterward when I started teaching at Rogers State College in Claremore, Oklahoma, and some of the members of the original Texas Playboys were also teaching there, like Leon McAuliffe and Eldon Shamblin. And so I really gained a wonderful appreciation for Western swing and Western through just absorbing what their vast knowledge of the genre that they had.
I see. And what about you, sir? Where did the music come from?
From my dad. I grew up hearing my dad and Uncle Glenn playing music in the kitchen and listening to my dad play rhythm guitar for Uncle Dick Hutchison up in Disney, Oklahoma. And Uncle Dick was a fiddler and Dad was a rhythm player, so that's what I got grounded in, country music and old-time fiddling. And then just growing up, learning how to play. Yep.
So, did you want to be like a cowboy, or did you want to be like just a performer growing up?
I really had dreams of being somebody like Chet Atkins, but there was only one of him, so I just realized that I could just learn to do what I could do. You know, I never did want to rope or really be too much of a cowboy, other than appreciating very much the smell of a horse. Because we had horses.
Yeah, well, I have a couple of my own. Well, I have one now. But yeah, I know what they can smell like.
Yeah.
And what about you? You love horses and the ranch life?
Well, it's always very pretty. You know, when we travel as much as we do, we just pretty much base out of the motorhome. So getting to sing about the music is about the best that we are able to do.
Yeah.
And not really participate other than vicariously by watching others.
Oh, okay. Well, because y'all do it so it's almost like you grew up with it to me. You know, it just seems that way because y'all do it so well, you know. And so growing up, what did you say you taught music? Did you teach piano?
I taught voice and several instruments and led a band at when I taught at Rogers State. And you know, I got a bachelor's in music education, so I taught K through 12, and I got a master's in music theory and started playing Western music. So.
Well, that's good, though. Led you there. He got you there. And what about you? Did you teach music?
Oh, yes, I taught guitar lessons in Veneta, Oklahoma while I was going to college, and learned more by trying to teach other people than really sitting by myself. You know, when you're trying to explain things to somebody that's wanting to learn, you have to know about it, you know.
Well, you got to know what you're talking about, right?
That's right. You have to learn what you're talking about, and I really didn't start learning about the Western music until we were playing with a country band in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it was John Clark and the Cowboy Way, and Mr. Allen out at the Allen Ranch at Bigsby, Oklahoma, he called John Clark and asked for an audition. Well, we went out with the country band and sang, and Jeannie just happened to have at the time an upright bass fiddle, and she had a great big hat, which she still has, cowboy hat, but on the audition she sang I Want to Be a Cowboy Sweetheart, and she yodeled. Well, that's what Mr. Allen was looking for. He was looking for a girl, a young lady that could sing and play bass and yodel. Well, he called her and asked her if she'd like to come to work out there doing a chuck wagon supper and and Western music show. Well, she agreed, but she said, Mr. Allen, you know, I've got this guy that I hang around with, and he's learning how to play the rhythm guitar. Could you use him? And Mr. Allen said, well, does he have a hat? And I had a hat, and he said, well, bring him along, and we can use him too. So for 6 years, we played at the Allen Ranch Chuck Wagon Dinner and Music Show there in Bigsby, Oklahoma. For 6 years, and that was 1991, I believe, and that's when I really started learning Western music. And about the Gene Autry recordings and Sons of the Pioneer recordings, all those people that had really started it for us, and we've tried to keep it going, as many of our friends have done that, trying to keep the Western music going. So that's how we got started with Western, because she showed me how to play chords.
And he had a hat.
And I had a hat. I've still got the hat. And you know, Jim, we'd play with that country band, and this hat that I had was a nice little Stetson, traditional rancher style, but they kind of were harsh on their critique of the way the hat looked, so I had it changed and shaped by Shorty's Cowboy Hattery in Oklahoma City. And they put a nice little dip in the front and a mule kick in the back. I still have the hat, and now it's going on, 25 years old.
It'll be in the museum, right?
Oh, it'll be in the museum.
There
maybe.
you go. I wanted to talk to you a little bit before I bring Pam up. I wanted to ask you about songwriting. You write some of the songs?
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She does. Yeah, and I try to write kind of from a different point of view. You know, whenever most of the Western and most of the cowboy songs, well, of course, they're about cowboys. So I try to do it either from the standpoint of a woman in ranching or cowboying, or from the point of view of the horse, or from maybe the point of view of just like there's a song I wrote called Mesa Ridge about finding pottery in the desert and pot shards, and trying to take the journey in your head back to when they were made and how many hundreds of years they've been there and all the things that they've seen. So, not like pot shards see anything, but they were there.
They were there.
So that kind of thing. Plus, I like to do social commentary. There's a song called "Ask Your Doctor If This Is Right For You." It's not Western at all. Not Western, but it's just social commentary, and the Antiques Roadshow Blues, which is also social commentary. And so you see things, and think I've got to write a song about that.
That was so funny.
Well, thank you.
I loved it. I really enjoyed it. So, till we meet again, good luck, God bless, and we'll see you at the crossroads. Let's go, Dan.
And welcome back to Crossroads Live. And we are here at the Yodeling Queen's birthday party for Janet McBride. And two of our dearest and closest friends are Tex and Mary Schutz. And we're so glad that you're here. You actually put the birthday party on. You helped create the book for Janet. Tell us a little bit about that, Mary.
Well, I think Janet is just pretty darn special.
Yes, she is.
And you know what? Most of us, if we get to celebrate our 80th birthday, I'll bet we're not going to look quite as good as Janet looks.
She looks fabulous.
And I want
Nobody's gonna look that good.
no, and I wanted her to celebrate her 80 years and
Yes.
just celebrate all year long because she's got a lot to celebrate. That's what the book is kind of all about. It's about her life, you know, her growing up and how she longed to yodel. As soon as she heard some yodeler on the Grand Ole Opry on the radio,
Right.
she longed to yodel, and she would practice day in and day out, and she would scare the neighbors away and everything in her little trailer house. See, she was born in Maine. And then
Okay.
they went to California, and they lived in trailer homes in a little trailer. Now, she was born in the, let me put it, the Depression era. Let's put it that way, pre-war. So it was a hard life, and she's just got a very, very interesting story. And we tell that story in Still Loving the Ride.
Oh, I love that title too. Still loving the ride. And now you sing as well. How did you and Janet hook up?
When did we first meet, Janet? I think at the Gene Autry Festival.
Probably when we were producing the Gene Autry Film Festival.
That's awesome. Yeah, because you guys promote many festivals. Tell us a little of the history of that.
I'll let her tell you.
We
because
produce our.
She's the one that does all of the talking anyway. She don't let me talk. So.
I'm the talker. We produce a festival of our own in Hastings, Nebraska. It's a big country music festival. But the one that we're referring to, where we met Janet and a bunch of these other good country folks,
Right.
country and cowboy folks,
Right.
we met at the Gene Autry, Oklahoma Film and Music Festival.
Wow.
We produced that for 3 or 4 years. I think we ended in 09, I think. Maybe it was 10. I can't remember now.
I don't remember.
It's just, and we would not have ended it except the owners of the museum had some serious health issues, so we had to end it. But it was it was almost like a big family reunion, which is what our festival is like up in Nebraska. Now, the festival in Oklahoma, Gene Autry, Oklahoma, it was about the old cowboy films, and we had cowboy movie stars. We had Jim Drury there, and Robert Fuller, and a bunch of those guys. And the one in Nebraska, though, specifically, is the old country style of music, gospel and country.
Now, when is that going to be coming back up again?
Now, that one comes up 4th, 5th, and 6th of September. It's always the Thursday, Friday, Saturday after Labor Day.
And so if people want to go online to find out about that, where do they go so that they can come attend that?
There are several websites that deal with that, primarily milesofmemoriesmusic.com, and then also our website, texandmary.com.
texandmary.com. That's just incredible. And real quick, Tex, what would be your favorite festival that you've produced or best story that you can think of through all these years of you guys doing this together?
Well, the Gene Autry Festival was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work. Anytime you're producing one, it's going to be a lot of work, so you don't get to enjoy them and have as much fun as you'd like to. But I suppose the one we do at Hastings right now is probably my favorite, because all of the people that we've known for 30-odd years that we've been performing together, the ones that are still able and alive, come to our festival, and we just love it.
It's incredible. So, folks, if you can get there, it's like get there because you're going to have a great time.
We call it a celebration of old-time country music, and that's what it is. It's like a huge party, and it's the kind of thing where Tex was talking about our older fans.
Yes.
But we get new fans every year, and
That's
that's great because we're trying to keep the old-time country style alive. That's what we're doing.
Well, and we appreciate that. So, folks, if you can, again, look at our website here. We'll have the information up. And if you can get to see Tex and Mary Schutz coming up real soon, please get out there and do so. And again, guys, thanks for being on Crossroads Live, and we just wish you the best. And thank you for everything you've done for Janet McBride, the book, the festivals for country music fans. We really appreciate you.
Thanks for having us,
Yes,
ma'am.
thank
We
you for being
appreciate
on
it.
the show.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks.
Baby, my
I get so lonely when I dream about you. Can't live without you.
that's why
That's why I dream about you. If I could only put my arms around you, life would be so fair.
you were there.
You could hug and kiss and never tire. I'm on fire.
You hug.
You are my one desire. I get so lonely when I dream about you. Why can't you be there?
Oh, baby, tossing and turning in my slumber. Oh, baby,
Holding you in sleep.
oh, baby, I give you kisses without number, but only in my dream. Oh, baby, my
I get so lonely when I dream about you. Can't live without you.
that's why
That's why I dream about you. If I could only put my arms around you, life would be so fair.
Oh, baby, tossing and turning in my slumber. Oh, baby, holding you in sleep. Oh, baby, I give you kisses without number, but only in my dream. Baby, my
I get so lonely when I dream about you. Can't live without you. That's why I dream about you. If I could only put my arms around you, life would be so fair.
oh, baby,
Life would be so fair.
oh, baby,
Life would be so fair.
oh, baby,
We have the Caring for a Person with Alzheimer's Disease book. It is from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the National Institute on Aging. Guess what? Guess what? This book is free. It's about 100 pages because now we know that there are millions of Americans out there that are taking care of someone with some form of autism, some form of Alzheimer's. This is strictly an Alzheimer's disease book. And basically it says your easy to use guide from the National Institute on Aging. We're going to put up the address. We're doing commercials. We're very passionate about this cause because we want Alzheimer's patients taken care of.
This morning I woke up feeling fine. Turned on the early news to catch up with the times. Calamities and fights that happened overnight were broadcast in snippets and sound bites. All the stories showed the worst humankind. Morbid fascination keeps cable news on all the time. Disasters, fights, and guns make those camera crews run. A devastating desperation and despair coming up in 3, 2, 1. Then the anchor said, time for a break. Every single ad was for a drug to take. IBS, heart disease, depression, allergies, overactive bladder, and of course, ED. The next break aired, I started feeling bad. Didn't know how many symptoms I might have. Well, it gave me thoughts of dread. Next thing, I was sick in bed, waiting for the green butterfly to land on my head. Then a familiar voice rang in my ear. Every pill ad says it loud and clear. It told me what to do. I know you've heard it too. Ask your doctor if this is right for you. Ask your doctor. Ask your doctor. Ask your doctor if this is right for you. Your health is drug companies' concern, and investors want returns, so ask your doctor if this could be right for you. Drug marketers know how to hypnotize. They'll wake your hypochondriac inside. They run those ads until you start to think you're ill, 'cause they know there's gold in them our pills. Ask your doctor. Ask your doctor. Ask your doctor if this is right for you. Though you don't have that disease, well, it'll put your mind at ease. So ask your doctor if this could be right for you. We know of drugs that didn't work as advertised. Some folks took them to get better, but they got worse and died. Well, new ones come out every day. And of course they're safe, 'cause they've been approved by the FDA. Ask your doctor. Ask your doctor if this is right for you. And if a recall must be made, your beneficiaries will be paid. So ask your doctor if this could be right for you. You can sure learn to sell from the American drug cartel. So ask your doctor if this could be right for you.
And welcome back to Crossroads Live. And I'm having my opportunity to stand here with Jeannie and Jerome with Call of the West. And I had a few questions for you guys before you got away today. And we've been having a great time at Janet McBride's 80th birthday party, which has been incredible. And you guys were the featured artists today and did an excellent job. And a couple of songs really stood out that were a lot of fun today. The Ask Your Doctor song. Now that one, I mean, we were all just laughing our guts out when that song was sung, because we've all sat and watched those drug ads at home, and the ads, the side effects are worse than what it's actually curing. And you actually wrote that song. Tell us a little bit of what was going through your mind when you wrote that song, and then we'll let them know how they can get it on the CD, because you got to get a copy of this. You will just love it. And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, when you watch the evening news, especially, it seemed like the evening news or the morning news, that there are pill ads, and there are more pill ads, and there are pill ads, and then at the very end they tell you the side effects, which are horrible.
Absolutely.
And you just wonder, and is it better to just stick with what you got, or take a pill and see if it makes you worse? And it's all marketing.
Right.
They're just, why, if a doctor doesn't prescribe something for you, the marketers figured out, have the patients suggest it to them, and they'll go, okay, well, alrighty.
Yeah.
And so that's a way to really increase the amount of people that are taking the pills, and it's just, I don't know, I had to write something, you know.
It is really funny because it's not anything none of us have sat back in our own chairs and thought, the same thing, and then yet you were creative enough to put it in a song. And is that one on this particular?
That one's on this one, on the one that's the You Are the Rose of My Heart.
You Are the Rose of My Heart. So that's the one with the Ask My Doctor. And then the other one that we were just dying laughing about was about the Antiques Roadshow and about how you went up to the attic, pulled your junk out, couldn't even sell it in the yard sale, let a guy take it off, and then it ends up making lots and lots of money on the Antique Roadshow. Tell us a little bit about that song.
Well, that's one of my favorite shows. And they always tell the story about, well, I found this in the dumpster, or I paid $0.25 for it, but no one ever talks about the poor sap that sold it for $0.25.
Right.
And there you are. So I did it from the point of view of the other. So.
Not only will you love the funny songs, but the song that really, Rose of My Heart. Tell us a little bit about Rose of My Heart.
Well, we found that on some album that our friends Tex and Mary Schutz had loaned us, and I don't remember who the recording was by, but the Whitstein brothers, that's right. And then I learned that it had been recorded by several different people, but we thought we'll try this one and see how our audience is like that. And it has been one that has been requested many times.
Yes.
And it's one of those that for a while, I just couldn't look at her whenever I would be singing it because I would just start getting choked up. I'd have just to look away at the audience and start sing the words. And of course, we do it simply with guitar, and she's playing the harmonica. And now I just have to be careful, and sometimes people might be holding hands.
Yes.
And I get emotional with things like that. But anyway, it's a beautiful song, and.
Yes, it is a beautiful song, and you know what, Jeannie, you just really blew me away because just when we thought you had played a harmonica and a guitar and a ukulele, a mandolin, I mean, you just keep pulling out more and more instruments. How many instruments do you play?
Oh, a lot more than we carry around.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
You guys are a real talented group. Now, where can we see you next? What are your future plans?
Well, we're going to take a little bit of time off. We've done a pretty heavy winter season out in Arizona and California. We're going to do a couple of shows in the later part of the summer, one in Kanab, Utah. We'll be backing Lynn Anderson, I think. And a little bit later than that, we're going to be in Ruidoso at the Lincoln County Cowboy Symposium. And then other Western festivals as the year progresses.
Right.
So mostly in the summertime, we don't play as much as in the wintertime because, well, there are other things to do.
Right. Well, one thing for sure, if they go on callofthewest@gmail.com, they can get in contact with you to get a copy of your CDs there. And is that where they can also find the website, Call of the West?
Our website is jeannieandjerome.com.
Okay, jeannieandjerome.com. And again, we've got You Are the Rose of My Heart. You want that one. And then the next one is Call of the West.
Twilight on the Trail.
Oh, that's a great title. That's wonderful. And then this one is yours. Now, is this the one that you did the wedding stuff about? The wedding?
Well, was it My Heart Lives in Old Santa Fe? Was that on one of the songs that she included that one on a special wedding CD that she and our friend James Michael in Las Cruces produced last June? Last summer. And the wedding took place in northern Italy.
Incredible.
So she's got music that was heard in Italy, and then they did a further CD that was used for the wedding reception in, Austin, Texas. And so she's got music that's heard a lot more places than mine. So.
there you go. Well, we hope all of you out at Crossroads Live, all of our fans out there, that you will go online and that you will get your copies of Call on the West, because you will love their music, especially the funny songs, the really tear-jerking love songs. They do it all, folks, and weddings. And I am sure if somebody wanted to get in touch with you to come and do a concert, they would be able to do that through callofthewest@gmail.com. Again, thank you guys for being on Crossroads Live, and we thank you guys for tuning in today on Crossroads.
We have the Caring for a Person with Alzheimer's Disease book. It is from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the National Institute on Aging. Guess what? This book is free. It's about 100 pages, because now we know that there are millions of Americans out there that are taking care of someone with some form of autism, some form of Alzheimer's. This is strictly an Alzheimer's disease book. And basically it says your easy to use guide from the National Institute on Aging. We're going to put up the address. We're doing commercials. We're very passionate about this cause, because we want Alzheimer's patients taken care of.
Thank you. I'd like to recite a little poem now that was inspired by a true story that was told to me by Tex Schutz. Yes, it's based on a true story, but you know, if any poem or song, if you got a gram of truth in there, a grain of truth, well, it makes it even better. So here's how it goes. We've got a new neighbor. A city lady bought the farm place down the road, and she is a waver in all kinds of weather, hot or cold. One day she stopped and asked, "Could you watch my dog? Would you mind?" "Well, sure, we can do that for you. We've done it for others from time to time. Of course, we'll just let him run with ours, if that's all right." "Oh, yes, he's had all his shots and he's never tried to fight." Well, Perky slept and ate with our 3 dogs and 1 cat. He watched where the horses stood, and by himself he killed a big field rat. He did not try to help the dogs kill the big black snake that had swallowed the fresh eggs. And although he would accept a treat, he never whined or begged. She returned in about a week, and the reunion, it almost made me sick, because he ran and jumped into her arms and all over her face and mouth, lick, 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 lick. "Oh, Perky, it's so nice to see you, and it's so nice of you to give Mom some lovin'." And to this day, I don't think she would have done that if she had just watched him eat that fresh horse muffin. That's right. Based on a true story told to me by Tex Schutz. Yeah.
I was cleaning out the basement, the attic yesterday. Came across some old stuff that I thought I'd throw away. Some old chairs and a blanket, a little statue in a trunk. I swear I don't know how I ever ended up with all this junk. It was garbage, it was trash, it was dusty, it was old. So I dragged it down the stairs and I stacked it by the door. I had a little yard sale the next sunny Saturday. Lots of people came to look, but they just walked away. And I had to get to Walmart, so the next guy that drove up,
If he'd take this junk out of my yard, well, I'd pay him $20. It was garbage, it was trash, it was dusty, it was old. So we stuffed it in his truck and he drove on down the road. A few months later, I was watching Antiques Roadshow. I was reaching for the remote when my jaw fell to the floor. Those twins hovered excitedly over junk I kept for years. And the guy who hauled it off, well, he was all eyeballs, teeth, and ears. It was garbage, it was trash, it was dusty, it was old. He didn't even take the time to clean off the dirt and mold. They said the chairs were shaker, worth at least 500 grand. The statue was a Tiffany, signed by Louis Comfort's hand. The blanket, they said breathlessly, early Navajo Chiefs Phase 1. And the trunk had hidden letters from General Washington. Oh, it was garbage, it was trash, it was dusty, it was old. Well, now my attic's empty and that guy's rolling in dough. Then they asked the final question. Where did you get all this? He said, just one yard sale. You know, it was better than a gift. That lady said, just haul it off. I didn't pay a cent. I swear no one ever gave a better laugh at my expense. It was garbage, it was trash, it was dusty, it was old, till the day my junk turned into someone else's pot of gold. So if you've had a bad day, just take a tip from me. If you've just had a yard sale, don't watch public TV. Boy, you could hardly give away, might be worth a ton of dough when the junk from your garage sale ends up on Antiques Roadshow. Maybe garbage, maybe trash, maybe dusty, maybe old, till the day your junk turns into someone else's pot of gold. Oh, it was garbage, it was trash, it was dusty, it was old, till the day my junk turned into someone else's pot of gold.
So, till we meet again, good luck, God bless, and we'll see you at the crossroads. Let's go, Dean.
You are the rose of my heart. You are the love of my life.
You want to explain that song for us?
That's the introduction to our very special arrangement, our award-winning arrangement of On the Trail, which is the third movement from